between lungs to different parts of the body and from different parts of the body to the lungs. So this is the respiratory system. Here you will find the lungs, and this is the space through which the air enters into the lungs, and oxygenated air passes out from lungs to other parts of the body. So this is all about respiration. So what is this process is all about? Why it happens? So respiration is a process in which the food we have eaten, that is getting degraded in presence of oxygen, and it will give rise to the production of energy. So and that energy is being stored in the form of ATP, and whenever you will require any energy, that energy will be produced, or that energy will be in process. So for example, so this is all about respiration process is all about. So what are the steps of respiration? First, see, this is the nasal cavity. First nasal cavity, then nostrils or nasal cavity, then it will enter into the nose, then it will enter into the trachea, then bronchi, then bronchi, the parts of are known as bronchioles, then alveolar duct and alveolar sac. What is the shape of this alveolar sac? These are the bubble shaped sacs or bags. SAC sac means bag. So these bubbles or bags are responsible for exchange of air in between lungs and other parts. And these alveoli is been connected with blood capillaries. That blood capillaries contains RBC. We know in blood different RBC is there, WBC is there, and different platelets are there. RBC contains a pigment called hemoglobin, and hemoglobin always exists in stable form. HbO4 is the stable form of hemoglobin. One hemoglobin can combine with 4 molecules of oxygen, and whenever we are inhaling, two processes are important. One is your inspiration, another one is your expiration. Inspiration and expiration. Inspiration is the process of intake of air. In inspiration, air is entered into the nasal cavity, then we are having your trachea, then bronchi, then bronchioles, alveolar duct and alveolar sac. This is your inspiration is all about. Expiration is the process of exchange of air from the lungs to other parts of the body. So this is your two steps. One is your inspiration and the one is your expiration. Respiration can be of two types. One is your internal, another one is your external. So external respiration can occur outside the cell, but internal respiration is all about the cell, within the cell. RBC is the pigment which contains, RBC is the pigment which is containing a pigment called hemoglobin, and we know that color of our blood is red in color because of the pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin combines with 4 molecules, so it is always an unstable form, and HbO4 is a stable form. So whenever in lungs, once air passes into the lungs, comes to the alveoli, it comes, and that alveoli is been connected, well connected with blood capillaries. So in blood capillaries we know that RBC is there or hemoglobin pigment is there. That hemoglobin pigment will collect oxygen from the lungs and it will make the blood oxygenated. Then oxygenated blood from the lungs can be charged or can be transported to different parts of the body, and in that way the oxygenated blood can be transported to all other parts of our body. So respiration can be of 3 types. One is, for example, imagine in case of your microscopic organisms, that is your amoeba. In case of your amoeba, it is of single cell. So it is a single cell, and we know as it is a prokaryotic cell, only nucleic acid is there and all other organelles, no organelles are present. Double membranal organelles are absent. Only nucleus is there. Along with that, food and water vacuoles are available. So So how respiration takes place in case of your amoeba? In case of a unicellular organism like amoeba, by the help of diffusion. Water is available outside the cell, so it plasma. This is your plasma lemma. This is your plasma lemma. With the help of this plasma membrane or plasma lemma, exchange of water molecules takes place. Exchange of oxygen takes place within the water to the cell. Okay, from the water to the cell. So this is the process. This process is otherwise known as diffusion. Okay, this process is known as diffusion. So now we will study. See, in this reaction C6H12. So what is it? Glucose. How it is formed? 6CO2 plus 12 H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. It gives rise to C6H12 O6 plus 6CO2. So in this reaction, the energy is stored in the form of your glucose. So for this, some amount of energy is required, plus energy. That energy is stored within the mitochondria. Okay. This is stored. Say mesosomes, your oxygen particles are there. These oxygen particles are helpful for capturing energy. So this is about the mitochondria and why and how energy is being liberated. Without oxygen or without respiration, your food cannot be degraded. For degradation of food or for breakdown of the food molecules, oxygen is highly required. That's why respiration is very important. And what are the steps? First organ which is related with the respiratory system is your nasal cavity. And we know that fine hair-like projections of hairs are there within the nasal cavity. Why? So that whenever we are inhaling air, the dust particles or the microorganisms can be sticked away to the hairs which is present within the nasal cavity. Then it will enter into the tracheal space, and trachea consisting of your, see this is the trachea. Okay. Cartilage, it is made up of your cartilaginous tissue. Whatever and it is having a mucosal surface also, so the dust particles or the microbes will remain sticked up to the trachea. Now the pure oxygen, the pure air will move through the bronchi. This is known as bronchus. This is known as your bronchus, and these are known as bronchioles. Okay. Through bronchioles it will enter through the alveolar duct and alveolar sacs. These are the alveolar duct, and it is made up of your small bubble-like structures are there. Okay, this is known as alveolar sac. So through that alveolar, there will be exchange of oxygen, and now air will be there within the alveoli and capillaries, and the capillaries remains connected to the lungs. So this is the space. This is the organs which are related to the respiration. Next we will study about yeast. Second is called muscle cells. And in higher eukaryotes. Okay. So yeast are the organisms which are yeast. In yeast cell is helpful for what purpose? Fluffing of bread. Why? Because whenever they comes in contact with the carbohydrate, they will multiply rapidly. So yeast used to have an aerobic mode of respiration. anaerobic. So what is aerobic and anaerobic mode of respiration? The respiration which occurs in presence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen is known as aerobic mode of respiration, and respiration which occurs in absence of oxygen is known as anaerobic mode of respiration. Anaerobic mode of respiration occurs in case of your yeast, or in case of your muscle cells, or we know that in case of your some of the your chemogens also, chemosynthetic bacteria also, this anaerobic mode of respiration takes place. So first what happens in case of your higher eukaryotes, or in case of your humans or other higher animals, that carbon dioxide, that is your C6H12O6, that will be broken down into carbon dioxide plus pyruvate plus energy. See, glucose is, this is the structure of glucose. It is a 6 carbon containing compound. Okay, and if you will, it's having a formula also like this. OH, H, so this is the structure of your glucose. Glucose is a 6 carbon containing compound. So this 6 carbon containing compound is been divided into 2-3 carbon containing compound. It occurs, so the process of respiration occurs first in case of your cytoplasm, then it enters into the mitochondria. Okay, why? Because we know that mitochondria is otherwise known as powerhouse of the cell. It contains oxygens which will store the energy which is liberated in the process of your respiration. So first, your respiration consisting of sub-stages, like your glycolysis is there, then Krebs cycle is there, then electron transport system is there. These are the 3 subsequent stages of respiration: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, then last one is your ETS, or electron transport system. In total, in case of your aerobic respiration, total 38 molecules of ATPs are being produced. Okay, these are produced in subsequent stages. What are the stages? First one is your glycolysis. Then second one is your Krebs cycle. Third one is your ETS, or electron transport system. Total these 3 steps used to yield total 38 molecules of ATP.
ETS from
electron transport system. Okay, these are the sub stages. Total 38 molecules of ATPs are produced. It takes place in cytoplasm. Then it moves to the mitochondria. Okay, so glycolysis takes place in cytoplasm. Krebs cycle and electron transport system takes place inside the mitochondria. So here first in higher eukaryotes, what happens? One molecule carbon dioxide is released. Along with that, one molecule of glucose has been converted into 2 molecules of 3 carbon containing compound, that is your pyruvate. One molecule of glucose has been degraded into 2 molecules of pyruvate. Glucose is a 6 carbon containing compound, but pyruvate is a 3 carbon containing compound. So that 6 carbon containing compound is been divided into 2 molecules. Okay, so that is the reaction which takes place in aerobic respiration. Whereas in case of your yeast, what happens? In case of your yeast, undergoes anaerobic mode of respiration. Okay, it doesn't require oxygen for the process of respiration or for energy liberation. So in yeast, what happens? Here ethanol is being produced. Ethanol plus energy. So ethanol is a kind of alcohol. So ethanol is produced in yeast fermentation. But in case of your muscle cell, what happens? For example, we are undergoing a kind of vigorous activity or vigorous exercise we are undergoing. So in that particular area, for example, our leg muscles are working. So after walking for a certain period of time, our leg muscles used to get cramped. Why? Because in that particular area, the amount of energy liberated is being used up. So the amount of oxygen, that area becomes taxed with your oxygen. So for that, and because of that, anaerobic respiration takes place. In anaerobic respiration, only 2 molecules of ATP is been generated. But in what we have studied, in aerobic respiration, how many molecules of ATP is been released? 38. Whereas in anaerobic respiration, how many molecules of ATP? Only 2 molecules of ATP is been produced, which is insufficient. In case of your ethanol or yeast, in case of your yeast, ethanol is been produced, only 2 molecules of ATP is been generated, which is not enough, like that of your aerobic mode of respiration. And whereas in muscle cells, this glucose is been converted into lactic acid. Glucose is been converted. Glucose is converted into lactic acid. Okay, lactic acid plus energy. How many molecules of energy? 2 molecules of only energy. So in that capillaries becomes, in that capillaries lactic acid is being stored, and that is why we are using hot water bath, or we are going for your massage, so that capillaries will be free of your lactic acid and blood flow will be normal. So that is why we are using either hot water bath or your massage, so that blood flow will be normal. Okay. So these are the 3 steps of aerobic and anaerobic mode of respiration. So what is aerobic respiration?
The respiration
Which takes place in presence of oxygen is known as aerobic mode of respiration. Whereas respiration which occurs without oxygen is known as anaerobic mode of respiration. And in glucose is been degraded into your pyruvate, then that is what kind of reaction it is? Aerobic respiration. How many molecules of ATP is generated in aerobic respiration? 38 molecules. How many molecules of ATP generated when yeast is been? 2 molecules. And what is generated along with glucose is been converted into? In yeast, glucose is been converted into ethanol. Whereas in muscle contraction, glucose has been converted into lactic acid, and along with that 2 molecules of energy is also released. So in aerobic respiration, 38 molecules of ATP generated, and in anaerobic respiration, only 2 molecules of ATP generated. And another thing is, in case of this is a nasal cavity, then this is the larynx or voice box, this is the trachea, and these are the bronchus. Okay, these divisions are known as bronchus, and that will lead to your alveolar sac, alveolar duct, and which is related to your blood capillaries. Blood capillaries contain which pigment? Hemoglobin pigment. That hemoglobin pigment will trap oxygen from the alveoli, alveolar duct or alveolar sac. So these are the steps or organs which are related to respiration. Another important thing is, in case of your fishes, how they are respiring?
Through their gills.
Through the gills. In case of your frog,
Skin.
they are having mucosal skin through which respiration takes place. Why they are known as amphibians? They can respire both in water and in terrestrial space. So what adaptive features they are having? Mucosal skin is also there, along with that lungs also they are having. In case of your frog, another organism, earthworm. In case of your earthworm, what kind of respiratory organ is associated? Earthworm. Blue guzzle, skin. Through the skin it used to respire. Blue whale. Fossil blue whale is a mammal or it's a fish or mammal? It is a mammal. So in that blue whale also respiration takes place through blabber. They are having gills, along with that they are having blabbers through which they used to respire. Another thing is, in case of your human inspiration, what is the difference between inspiration and expiration? Inspiration is otherwise known as inhalation, or the intake of air into the lungs is known as inspiration, and through expiration air comes out. Okay, so how it comes out? See here what it is. What is this otherwise known as? Diaphragm. So diaphragm is responsible for inhalation and exhalation. Whenever the pressure becomes lessened after inhalation. Inhalation is the process of intake of air. The diaphragm used to it gets flattened, whereas whenever after having oxygenated air from the lungs, then used to squeeze and air comes outside through the nasal cavity. So this is all about your inhalation and exhalation process. Okay, so this is for today.